Let's talk a little bit about the data layer. Now, in our case, for an example, zenacademy.com.au doesn't actually host any form of e-commerce. We're not trying to sell anything online. It's mostly courses that people can enroll in. But let's say if you are working for an e-commerce store, if you were working for the Iconic, and you would want to get information about what the visitors were doing on your site, what sort of time they were taking on the site, what items were they purchasing, at what times were they putting those items in cart, and so on and so forth. So in order to be able to establish that, what we need to enable is something called an enhanced e-commerce. So there are two steps with Google Tag Manager to be able to enable the enhanced e-commerce. Now, remember, first of all, if you haven't already done so, you should create a variable for your Google Analytics ID. Now, remember how in tags and triggers, so when we defined a tag for Google Universal Analytics, we didn't actually go ahead and write the ID, but we simply used the variable, which was the Google Analytics settings variable. So that variable back over here, which is the Google Analytics setting variable, is where we will need to turn something on before we are able to have our data layer pass on information and be able to turn on enhanced e-commerce. So first of all, if you're running the e-commerce and you would like to get additional information, you would go to your Google Analytics admin, head on to e-commerce settings, turn on enable e-commerce, and then turn on enable enhanced e-commerce reporting. And then you can go ahead and save it. Now, there are additional funnel steps you can add, but at this point in time, I don't really recommend doing that. You could always come back to adding the funnel steps at a later point in time. So once you've clicked on enable enhanced e-commerce reporting, you can simply click on save. Now in this, because I don't have an e-commerce, so I'm just going to press cancel. So that's your first step. And the second step is to go on to the variable definition of your Google Analytics, where you've actually defined the property. Click the actual setting, click on more settings, head on to e-commerce, click on enable enhanced e-commerce features, and then click on use data layer. And then once you've done that, just simply click on save. And once you click on save, it will automatically go ahead and save that. Don't forget to click submit. So we say enabled data layer, for enhanced ecom. All right, and that's all we have to do. And then click on publish, and that will go ahead and publish the tag for you.